him, so I don't know.
I hate when people do that. He was okay about talking with it on the show, but we did have we had Shaft on the show. What's his real name?
Isaac Hayes.
Yeah, Isaac Hayes. Thank you. And
he's saying the song is
the music or the
the actor.
The actor.
Richard Roundtree. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Richard Roundtree. And we had him on the show, and I probably went to the Shaft a little too early in the interview.
Yeah.
But it just went downhill fast. Like, he did not want to talk about it. I'm like, you're Shaft, like, you should be proud of that. That was like, he was like a strong African American, almost like superhero at a time when we didn't have that.
We did the remake of that with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it wasn't that he was ashamed. I think he was just annoyed with everybody asking him about it, I guess. But we had Karate Kid on, and he was awesome about it. Yeah, he was so awesome about being the Karate Kid.
That's like Don McLean in American Pie. Do you ever hear that? I may have told you this story. I worked at the Loop many years ago. You know this one, Chris. Jonathan Brandmeier had Don McLean as a guest on his show, and his people said, you could ask him about anything, but not about American Pie. Do not ask about American Pie. So Johnny,
what else would you ask?
Right,
I know. So Johnny, very first question, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Don McLean on the phone. Tell us about American Pie. The guy hung up. Interview over.
Yeah, you can't
what
do
a
that.
weenie.
And that's one of the greatest songs in American history. You should be proud of that.
Well, I heard the story from somebody else too, where he said he didn't want to feel like he was being exploited by this one song. Which he made a song that exploits the death, the tragic death of several young musicians.
Right.
I mean, come on, really?
Yeah, weird. We had Topanga on. I keep saying their character's name. I don't even say their real name.
Oh, it's a boy's.
Yeah, Boy Meets World, and she was a little different about stuff like that too.
Is she on the new version?
Yeah, she's the mom now.
Okay.
She's the mom now, and they told me right before the interview, don't compliment her, don't tell her she's beautiful.
Oh my God.
And don't something else. Like, she's really like.
Don't touch her hair.
Well, it's like feminist, like strong feminist, where she doesn't want to be this, like, because her whole life she's been told that she was like kind of the crush of all these boys, and she was kind of a sex symbol. But then she did the Maxim spread, and she was really angry at herself that she did it. Yeah. So she's like, they're like, do not bring up Maxim. Do not tell her she's pretty. I'm like, don't make eye contact. Yeah. She came out, and I always hug the guests. I mean, I don't care if it's a guy. I hug him usually. So I go to hug her, and she wanted to just shake my hand. Yeah. She was like, she was really like business, and she's trying to, it was actually really disappointing.
Well, because she's now on the show though. Boy Meets Girl or
Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
Remember we had Kim Fields on?
2D.
And she was like that.
So same way, we got the heads up that she didn't want to talk about Facts of Life. She played 2D on the show, and I couldn't name any other thing, but she did.
But the thing is that her press people sent out the press release saying 2D from Facts of Life is going to be a native appearance, so that's why we had her on. It's like, well, we can't mention that.
Right.
And she had a major attitude when she came in because she had heard us promoting her before she came in.
But I'll tell you who was the best guest we ever had on the radio show was
thank you, Tony.
Marianne. No, on the radio show, not the podcast. The podcast obviously is this one.
Marianne.
Yeah, Marianne from
nice.
John Wells was the best. And
We
she's
had a lot of good
and she even said, she went, "This is what I'm known for. Why else would you be talking to me? Of course I'm going to embrace this."
I was with. I interviewed Whoopi Goldberg a few weeks ago, and have you interviewed with her?
Yeah, she's strange.
Oh my. Okay, first of all, they're like same kind of thing of like what you can and cannot talk to her about. They're like, look, you can't talk to her about the View. You can't talk to her about because she was going through all this stuff. Anything basically. Like you can talk to her about food. Okay, this is a food place. Talk to her about food.
Except not eggs.
Yeah,
because she doesn't eat eggs.
Well, no. So here's the thing. So I'm like, okay. So all I can talk about is food. I got it. I can whatever. I can make it work. So I'm like, hey, Whoopi, what do you like to cook? And she's
on The
like,
View. What do you like to cook on The View?
She's like, on The View. She's like, I don't cook. I go, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, you got nothing.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, now you got nothing.
No, so then I'm like, okay, so I only have a couple questions for them. Like, you don't cook. I go, okay, what do you have in your refrigerator? Would you say? And she's like, I don't. I go out tweet. I go, you have nothing in your refrigerator? She's like, no. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So then I think I had one more. I'm like, okay, if you can, how about if you ate dinner with anybody in the world, who would it be? And then she's like, my mother, and we would eat chicken soup.
Oh man!
My friends,
you should have just went into like jumping Jack Flash questions.
Right.
Or what was that one that moved, the Sister Act? Anyways, it was the most awkward interview I've done in a while.
I was part of a morning radio show, the Melissa Foreman morning show, along with Jimmy, and we were all let go for the Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Wake Up with Whoopi.
And then I was brought back on to run that show, and she was in New York, I was in Chicago, And so I had to listen to it, and she was unrelatable to our listeners. She did not cook. She did not eat eggs. She did not wear bras. She did not like Christmas.
Fly.
Christmas music, which was we were the Christmas music station. She wouldn't fly at the time. There was all these things. I'm like, how are you talking to the Light FM listeners? You know.
I say about Whoopi Goldberg, big whoop.